Hello people of the internet, welcome, I am KICdude, and today I'm going to be talking about Valentine's Day. Now before I begin, I would like to apologize for my last week. I didn't post anything last week, and it's because I was going through a personal thing. I was panicking, and I shoved myself in a corner, rebuilt a guitar, and found my inner peace, and I'm able to teleport through walls and find Goku. But just rest assured that I'm working to getting towards a new and better and consistent schedule. Right now, I'm kind of in the drumming it up to be announced sort of thing. So with that being said, Valentine's Day. It's a day where most people sit down with their loved one and gush over them, tell them how beautiful, how amazing, how in sync they are with each other. All the things. And why do I say this? Well, because on the other side of the coin, there are people who don't have that. And there are things that single people see in a relationship on Valentine's Day that annoys us. Not necessarily annoys us. I'm not going to say annoy. It troubles us. I will say it troubles us because while we're not in a relationship, some of us would like to be in one. And when we see certain things, we're like, well, they're taking it for granted. Because they have somebody that's willing to put up with them and all these other things, but they don't want to go ahead and take it upon themselves to not be a dick. But essentially, that's essentially what we see. And the first thing would be basically the overgush. And this is one thing that most new couples feel. Like, let's say, for example, a couple got together in middle of November, and yeah, they're not going to be so well intimate enough to probably, spend Christmas together. They're not going to do that. They're not crazy just quite yet about each other, but they are really close. So when it comes time for February, when February rolls around, they're just 4 months into it. They're still in that honeymoon phase, and that's one part of the overgush. They're just like too much into each other, and they're too much, and they're hitting it off way too much, and we see it. We're like, Jesus Christ, get a room, guys. Don't make me get a hose. All the old colloquialisms that exist. It's like when you see a balloon and it's like being filled, and the kid is like, no, it can be bigger. It can get bigger. It can get bigger. That's what it feels like. An overexcited kid. Yes, we get it. You like each other. Tone it down a bit, all right? You're at 11. We need you at 10 or at least a -5. Just, no middle space between you two right now. Either nothing or all, but keep it inside and away from us. The second thing that most single people see, and this is something that's kind of frustrating really, is when couples that are already together try to hook a single person up with a friend of the other person. Like, let's say, for example, you have a homeboy or you have a homegirl that you seem to hang out on the regular basis with. You guys are chill, you guys are cool, you guys go play pinball, laser tag, whatever have you. Guys are pretty solid friends, and his home dude or girl is like, listen, bro, we wanna hang out again. Let's hang out like next Friday. We got you. All right? I'm like, cool, I don't gotta pay. You got me. So I'm gonna, and you go there, and then they have a third person with them. They're like, okay, I guess they're in a freaky relationship or something, something like that. That's always something that passes through somebody's head. Don't lie. You think about it. You're like, oh wow, this person is now with a third person, but they're together. They're together. So now in your brain, you're like, wow, so this person is either a total, they're either a freak and they're, I'm cool with that. They're fine. They're friends. I don't, your decisions, or this other person is just a friend who tags along. And then this is exactly what happens every time. And this is something that has happened to me and a couple of my personal friends, that they get shipped with this person. This couple will order something at a restaurant you guys are serving at, and they will leave. They'll say, oh crap, we have this important meeting. You can give her a ride, or you can give him a ride right? Okay, sure. And then they ship you with them. Guess what? That's the most awkward, okay? Yes, sure, this other person may be down for it, but you didn't warn us. You didn't tell us anything. You didn't give us any insight. This stuff is gross. This stuff is hard. You can't just expect us to all of a sudden be courteous to somebody we don't know. Even though that's kind of the premise of a relationship, getting to know each other, it's not cool to throw somebody in. So, couples, if you are thinking about doing this, of setting up a blind date, Don't. Okay? Unless the person asks for it, don't do it. All right? You better off actually telling both parties, being like, listen, we have a friend, and they're pretty interested. They would like a relationship. You think you'd be interested in maybe starting one. Then you'd have a conversation going on, and then you might get something. Don't just, okay, here's a bed of tigers, go. That's not how you do that. A third thing some of these couples do, and some of these really really ditzy couples do, is they try to point out flaws in your character to make you have a low self-esteem so that somebody gets you. You know what I'm saying? And it's a weird one. This is a weird one. But I've seen this happen twice. And this is through high school to now, I've seen it happen twice. And it's a very small attention to detail because it may have happened more than once or more than twice, but I saw it and I recognized it after the fact. So essentially how this works is you have a couple, or you have, you're friends with a couple, you're friends with both of them, and these people are always being like, oh, you suck, oh, you do this, oh, you do that, and so you become more and more self-conscious, more and more so low self-esteem, and that's so low you feel yourself so low on the totem pole, right? And then these people do what the previous example was. They will get somebody that is very high in self-esteem, and they will, and then they will put them onto you. This person with high self-esteem is going to come at you, and since you have lowered your defenses and you have such a low boundary for yourself, you get hooked, and you get brought into a relationship that you yourself probably didn't even know you wanted, but you're in it now. And that's something that I've seen it twice, all right, okay, that they people push you into it without you knowing, and that's something that has to stop. First of all, this causes very very much, like, it's detrimental to somebody's physical, like, mental being, that, oh crap, now dang it, I'm with this person that is super, he feels so confident about himself. I want to feel confident about myself. I'm gonna hit it up with this guy. Maybe I can feel good, or this girl who maybe I can feel good. That's the mentality some people think of. And then there's another thing that this causes the other person to maybe even bring this other person who has high self-esteem to bring him down. So let's say, for example, this person with high self-esteem comes in, sweeps this person with low self-esteem off their feet because they're so confident about themselves. But at the same time, this person's like, man, I'm always screwing it up and all this stuff. And this person with high self-esteem is like, you know what, you don't have to say about this stuff. And after a while, it starts going thin. So this person with high self-esteem, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe I don't think about the same way about myself, and they start doubting themselves. This could, I know I'm talking about like maybe a slippery slope kind of deal, but this is totally something that could happen, and it's detrimental to somebody's mental health. So why are couples doing it? The fourth thing is something I really don't understand, is the mentor, or the love guru of a group that you're in. I've never been a fan of a love guru. I never even thought that would be a thing. But they're, in high school, in middle school, wherever you're at, or even in college, or even a group of friends you're in university, wherever you're at. If you are single and you have a group of friends, there will always be one person around or satellite your group of friends that will claim to be a love guru, that will try to coax that one person or that other person to be with you. Don't do that. It's, for one thing, these people are always going to paint you in a higher light than what you actually are. Yes, you're going to end up with somebody you like, but do they feel the same way about you? Or also, that person may have lied to get you that person. That, it's things like that. That's kind of weird, It's a weird mentality. It's even weird to think about. It's sort of like trafficking thoughts. Think about it. You go, you lie to somebody, they buy it, they come back, and they expect something in return. Not, exactly. It sounds so much like you're trafficking an idea of somebody that's higher than you. And if you have to be completely honest with yourself, just be honest with somebody. If you have to have a relationship and you have to want to go with somebody, just go tell them. I've done that and they've been shot down. I don't care. But at this point, I can tell you that the person that shot me down, we're like some of the, if we ever meet, because we hardly have time now because of schedules, we'd probably be the best of friends. Unfortunately, full-time jobs suck. So you don't really have time to hang out with people that you've liked or hang out with people that you've met over the years to do stuff. It's always going to get in the way. But at least then like, hey, I like you. You want to go chill at a movie this, Friday or something, whatever, what John Wick, The Expendable 7, something. They either will say no or yes or hey, let me think about it, because for one, single people, and this is one thing that you couples don't understand, single people will always expect and always think that the other person is out of their league. I don't know why this is a mentality. This is something that's always been in a single person's perspective. That if you think that if you even remotely think about asking somebody out, whether you're a guy or a girl, you always think that that other person is so much over you. They're so much better than you, and you cannot have a chance with them. So that's why people fall for the self-esteem thing. People fall for all these other excuses of things, and we see all the things that you couples are doing to try to influence us. So stop, okay? We will get people when we want to. And if we want your help, we will ask for it. Kind of a true and tried method for getting somebody to like you is, asking them. But if you guys liked the discussion, love me and love you back. Because I will see you guys next time. I've never noticed that my freaking ending card is love me and I love you back. You know what? I guess my subscriber base is my Valentine this year. Kisses.